Good morning. This morning I woke up feeling like singing because I guess I can hear the birds in the last week singing. Maybe it's because here in San Francisco there's always traffic um, going up and down my hill, but I can hear the birds and it makes me want to sing. And when my friends have been calling me kind of freaked out, I've been singing good morning, good morning, good morning to you. And I'm a horrible singer, and I've been singing to people like my friend Celicia Thomas, who's currently on the Britney Spears, in the Britney Spears musical that has been canceled because all of Broadway has been canceled, just like much of many other businesses have been on pause during this quarantine slash coronavirus epidemic. And yeah, I don't know, I just woke up feeling like singing good morning, good morning, good morning to you. And I think the morning time is a super special time of day because as the sun rises, a lot of spiritual teachers will tell you that that's the best time to connect to a new day of manifestation. It's a new reset, and it's a great time to just quiet your mind. So I think morning routines are super important. And I wanted to talk a little bit about your mind, body, and spirit, and how to. I like how Iyanla Vanzant of Iyanla Fix My Life on the OWN network says sanitizing your mind is really important. You know, there's this idea of we wash our hands all the time, especially to try to kill this virus, and I think a lot of times we get in our heads so much that we are washing our mind, our hands and our bodies, but we're not really washing our minds. So I wanted to walk you through a couple of things that I do to quiet my mind, and I think starting right away on a positive foot is really important. So when I wake up, I wash my hands, and you're supposed to wash your hands for 20 seconds. I was reading some studies and watching this video on YouTube that says actually the soap breaks up the virus and any viruses, and it takes about 20 seconds. So I do that right away in the morning. Then it's my ritual every morning that I just, I have a little water purifying thing here, a little pure. And what I do right when I get up is I fill this cup or any cup or mug with full of water, and then I squeeze a lemon in it. And what that does is it helps you digest and push everything through all the food from yesterday. Helps with digestion, and it just, for me, it calms me. So I squeeze like half a lemon, fill this up with water, I gulp it all down, then I boil hot water and I fill it up. It's still steaming here. And this is great because when I head over to my living room and meditate, it's something warm to hold. Speaking of living room, let me take you on a quick walk. This is my kitchen, and this is my living room. Sort of a mess right now, but I come into the living room to meditate every morning because this is such like a calm space. And then here's my view. Hi, Koi Tower. So then I open up the window to let some fresh air, and you can hear the birds. Listen. Makes me so happy to hear the birds. So I let some fresh air in, and I walk over to my couch, or I sit on the floor. It really depends on how I feel. And I do my morning meditations. And I have vlogged a lot about my morning meditations, and I will put a link to everything I'm talking about here, so I'll put a link to that later. And I sit here in silence, sometimes in at least 15 minutes a day. A lot of times I'm able to do that for 15 or 30 minutes. And trust me, my mind's always like, ooh, shiny thing, shiny thing. So it's taken me many years to just calm my mind, but I'll have some hacks. I'll put my blog on a hack that I do in this blog to lengthen and strengthen your meditation times. You can hear the birds. So I just sit in silence and focus on my breath. There's really no right or wrong way to do it, by the way. You just sit, and breathe. I set a timer on Insight Timer, this meditation app that I use, and for 15 minutes I just sit in quiet. And then if you can't do that, just breathe 10 deep breaths every morning and every night. But it's really essential for you to start your morning with a really quiet morning, to a quiet time to reset. And then sometimes I do guided meditations because I just need a little more guidance some days. Then I move my body and exercise. I've been talking to a lot of people lately just about their own kind of virtual experiences. Yesterday, it was awesome. It was one of my friend's 59th birthdays. Happy birthday, Elise. And she was saying that, she didn't want to be alone for her birthday. And so she's been doing virtual dinners with friends. Yesterday, she had a virtual chat during dinner. And she said, hey, can we have a stoop chat? And so that's kind of cool. She just walked over here. She's a neighborhood friend. And I sat on my stoop, and she was 8 feet away, and we were just talking and catching up. And I love so much the creativity that's coming out of this time, that we get to reset and take pause. It's a time just to kind of relax your mind and your body. And I know it's really hard to do that. So I think starting your morning routine is essential. And then throughout the day, when you start feeling the stresses, you just breathe and refocus and reset, and then you'll feel better. I've gotten a lot better. My mom is a worrywart, so I got that from her. So now when I worry, because of the meditation, I'm able to just take pause for a moment. And every time I feel like I'm getting stressed, whether it's somebody cutting me off or something in my life that's happening, I love the quote, it's not about what happens to you, it's about how you react, and that's so important. I think it said 90% of life is about how you react, and 10% is about what actually really happens. But a good way to start this sort of healthy mindset and sanitizing your mind, whether it's about the coronavirus or any other thing you're going through, it's to start your day with some sort of good routine. Start it in gratitude. Some people write gratitude journals. Some people sit in silence. There's an amalgam of things that people do, but those are just some of the things that I do. Meditation, some warm lemon water. Sometimes if I don't have lemon, I'm running out of lemon, y'all, this quarantine. And tea. And I've been thinking a lot about what I could do to help other people. Yesterday, I was connecting with a friend of mine Juliet, who owns a San Francisco CrossFit, and they were urging people, if you're able to continue your memberships through this weird time, because a lot of small businesses are small businesses. It's not like Costco and Walmart and the big box grocery stores need your help to get through this tough time. Ashley's Cafe is one of my favorites, and Angelina's here in San Francisco. So if you could buy a gift certificate from them, or they're doing takeout orders if you're doing the takeout thing. I know some people are just not doing anything at all, but Ashley I trust. She has 2 restaurants. One is a Japanese restaurant, and Ashley's Cafe, which I go to work a lot. And I had me a good bulgogi beef sandwich. But here in San Francisco, they are allowing you to take quick walks to go get food, to go get medical attention, to get some sanity. So starting your morning, sanitizing your hands and we do our hands and our body a lot, but what about sanitizing your spirit? So that's today's message. Sanitize your spirit, and start it off with a morning cup of tea and meditation, or just some quiet time. If you don't have time because kids are running around already, maybe you do it with them. You put on a YouTube video about meditation that's a minute long, or you tell them, hey, you guys, take 10 deep breaths. I remember once when my nephew was really mad at my sister for something in Florida. He had knocked over or kicked or something. He wanted to break a lamp, he said, because he was so angry, but I snatched him just before um, he got even more angry. And I said, hey, Drew, you know, there's this secret skill that you have, and it takes you to a secret place inside you that nobody else can touch. And you access that calmness and that place through your breath. So just do it with me. Take 10 deep breaths. And you'll feel better, I promise. So he did it, and he did feel better. And isn't that a great life lesson? Is that every time we start feeling anxious because of something, coronavirus or just life challenges related, that you just take a deep breath and you always feel better. And what's important is that a lot of times the anxiety is about the future and about wanting to be well. I talked about that yesterday in my blog, right? But a lot of times that thing that you're worried about hasn't happened yet, right? About maybe your bank account going to zero or in the red or getting sicker or whatever it is, right? So when you think about it, earlier I was thinking about some flowers, and it made me sneeze. And it's so important, the mind, the body, the spirit connection, because when you think about your woes and your worries ahead of time, you start feeling them now, even though they're not real. So I invite you today to sanitize your mind. We're sanitizing our bodies. And if you can, help. We talked about exercise your mind, exercise your body in these blogs, and your spirit, and just uplifting your spirits through meditation and through reaching out to friends and doing projects that you love. But I encourage you also to reach out to your local businesses, and if you can, spend a little bit and help them out, whether it's gift certificates or buying some to go, buying gift certificates if you can for friends. Anyway, mind, body, spirit, and I'm glad that this virus is really slowing the world down and making us realize that we're all in this together. So if you, speaking about together, if there are things that you're doing to help you calm the coronavirus craze, please share. I love watching all the Instagram, folks on Instagram sharing what they're doing and offering their support and help. There's a lot of free online classes. I know the New York Public Library is giving free downloads for books. John Legend and Coldplay and a lot of other artists, if you just Google it, they're giving free concerts. Joanna Gaines is inspiring you to share what you're doing at home and what you're cooking at home in doing a hashtag We Believe in Home. There's so many awesome deeds and good things out there, and I hope to share them here as we continue this conversation about how to calm yourself, your mind, body, and spirit. Cheers. Have a good day. We'll get through this together.